continuing, and I'd like to bring in Kibe Muigai, who's still in studio with me. Kibe, we're talking about the numbers and verification, and we're having this conversation even during the break that even if the numbers don't make sense or they don't add up or they're not the numbers that probably NASA have, how far can IEBC go in terms of changing or even, in fact, changing anything? Because looking at the latest, the last ruling of the court where they said the results at the constituency level is final.
Yes, it's precisely. First of all, for those who may not be lawyers, what needs to be understood, the job for IEBC or verification entailed all the information that has been received from the polling centers and by the returning officers being verified sort of that it makes sense and they can append their seal of approval on it. But now the decisions of the Court of Appeal effectively said that the numbers that come from the polling stations will be transmitted, one, to IEBC, and secondly, to the constituency returning officer. The constituency returning officer will decide on the disputed votes and on objected votes. Then come and then verify everything in front of agents and everybody, so that the Form 34B, or whatever results are declared that comes from constituencies, will be final, and IEBC cannot vary even one digit, a comma.
That puts them in a very difficult place, you know.
Precisely. And that is why some lawyers, including ourselves, had a problem with that. So that is now why I'm saying IEBC as commissioners, of course, they was not in agreement with that. But now, since that is the law, as they never went to the Supreme Court, their job is simple. And my appeal to them would be, just do the job. Because you must be having clips that immediately after this decision was made, everybody was saying IEBC's job has effectively been reduced to a 3-hour or 4-hour job. And that is now exactly what I expect it to do. The key issue, in my view at this stage, is confirm you have the 290 Form 34B, and this has been received from the respective returning officers. Then do the maths. Tell us, according to 34B, forget about all that you have screened. According to the forms you have received, what is the respective number of the 8 contestants?
Okay.
After you've done that, confirm, have you passed the 24 counties approval of 25%? Is 50 plus 1 rule also applied? Then you declare. So that assuming now that there are problems, and it is possible they are there, that there are problems with anything you have received from the returning officers, the Court of Appeal is clear. That's a business of the Supreme Court. Okay. So if IEBC tries to be a little Supreme Court at Bombers, then they will open a Pandora's box that they'll never be able to close.
So they can't alter anything.
So yes, that's why I'm saying, keep your job easy. If the interpretation by the Court of Appeal is that your job is clerical, be satisfied with it and finish it.
Prof.
And give us a result.
I want to ask him a question.
Please ask him a question. He's here, he will answer you.
In what format are those figures submitted from the constituency centers? Are they manual? Are they, in what format?
From my little understanding, those forms were scanned and sent.
So, therefore, what about if you have a number on the form that is unclear?
But your agent should have signed on it.
Just a minute.
Okay.
You are trying to explain away the question.
Okay, keep it.
The question is, suppose, in other words, if instead of 8, it comes out as 3.
Too bad. You see, that Prof, you know, I have said in this room and said, we made a mistake. And I did a column and said, we made a mistake. We can celebrate it assuming that we are resolving the problem of so-called changing numbers in IEBC.
Yeah.
What people forget is that there's actually a lot of scrutiny at the National Tally Center because all the presidential agents sit there. And you know, in the constituencies there, they are not there. I think part of the problem now is that IEBC is trying to resolve 2 issues. One is a technical issue, the technical legal issue.
Yes.
That one is very easy to, because the only thing they need to check is this form 34B from X constituency?
Yes.
Tick. Is this form? Tick. Are they 290? Yes. Do what Kibe has said. Check the other constitutional requirement. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. What they're trying to do now is to manage the social and political issues around the announcement of elections.
Yes.
That is a very difficult terrain. One, they are not trained for it, and we as a country, I'm not sure we are ready for it. Because I don't think at this time we tend to be very rational and reasonable people. So you can be the most reasonable and rational but the rest of us have already made a decision 3 days ago that you have stolen the election, or that this election is completely valid. It doesn't matter. So what IBC needs to recognize is that they have a legal duty. Carry out that legal duty. Let other institutions manage the consequences. But if you try and own something you don't have, the only thing that you can do is do something wrong. There is no justification. If you have 288 results, you actually can declare the result on that basis. Because remember, the law allows for you to declare before you get all the results. If the results that you have if the results remaining would not have any influence, any impact on the election. So that even if you say, let's allocate the remaining 2 constituencies to the losing candidate, it wouldn't make a difference. You must, because the tension that is now building gives people the impression, particularly those that who at this point appear to be losing, that there's a possibility that this thing could change. Now, that is also not fair on them. You know, so in a sense, the commission is now getting to the point where it's actually being unfair on the citizens. It needs, if it has the information, it has verified that they're there, don't go into arguments about there's a mistake. Prof, if there's a mistake in that form, and that is what I have said on this studio, even if the IBC chair can say that you added 10 plus 10 and wrote 40, there is nothing the commission can do.
Wow.
The Court of Appeal said, go to the Supreme Court.
So
that is wrong.
Listen, Daisy, I'll come to you again. But for now, allow me to speak to Abdi Osman, who's at the Bomas of Kenya for us. Abdi, how are you?